We are live. This is the Oktoberfest 2024 virtual awards. Plus, we're going to do like a whole year in review kind of thing. I got some extra people here. Brett and Andrew were on the Royal Showdown team. Adam fished the Ohio Bass Nation State Championship, so we'll go through all of that. Let me see if anyone's joined on yet. Which window do I look at for that? Zero. All right, we'll give it a couple minutes. I didn't plan on daylight savings when I scheduled this for 8 o'clock. It's essentially 9 o'clock right now, and I'm tired.
Yeah, I fell asleep a couple times waiting to jump on here. We went out on Nimi this afternoon, so in the wind.
Nice. Yeah, it was kind of windy.
Yeah, I fished Mogador today. It was kind of tough in the wind.
Still zero. I feel like the guys that would be watching right now would be right here.
Yeah.
No. It's going on the YouTube page, so we'll go ahead anyway. If anyone hops on, we'll go. So I'm going to start by presenting my screen and just do like a little year-end recap here. Starting with our first event was Mosquito. First time that we put it earlier in the year. Caught a lot of fish, a lot of non-bass fish. I had a great time there. Brian Rowe out of PA came over out of his sit-in and took first place. That was pretty cool. And then we got Ben, Jay, and Adam. We're going to see those names a lot. Jeremy did, Huntington had a great year as well. We'll see his name pop up a few more times. I believe Ben took big bass, right? Yeah, 20 and 5. And then the big one, Pymatuming, Battle at the Border, was it 10, I think. The largest solo kayak anglers tournament ever. There's a few others when they were partnering with KBF back in the day that were a little larger than this, but this is the first one that was kayak anglers only. 117 anglers. 115 anglers. Sorry, we had a couple pull out at the end there, but Adam took first. Andrews got second.
Sorry, buddy.
Steve got third. Josiah rounding out the top 5. We took 4 out of 5 there, so that was really cool to see NEO. And Nate, we claim him. So what's that? Half of the top 10. I guess it's a 50-50 split, but
it's cool to see how that event has evolved since I fished the first one I did back in 2020 to go from mostly PA guys leading the charge to our Ohio guys leading the charge. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I took second in 21. 22. Was it the Ken year?
22. Yeah, I didn't fish that one, I don't believe.
You're right. It comes down to time on the water, which is going to be a common theme throughout this. Is they had been fishing it for the previous 10 years, or 8 years. And we came in and we started checking it out, and it's the largest inland lake in Ohio, and there's a lot of launches, a lot of water to cover, a lot of stuff to learn, and over the years we've put stuff together, and you and Andrew and Steve clearly had a good plan. Josiah, I watched Josiah. He was fishing in my area. He was just doing stuff that I never would have thought to do. I watched him fish through this area. I just fished through it, and I came back and turned around, and I see him coming through, and I see him catching fish. I'm like, dude, what the no.
I went out with him last weekend. He's impressive for a young angler.
I saw that.
I fished with him twice already.
I saw that with your submissions for the Oktoberfest that you two were together at near the same time.
Yep.
Won't say where, but yeah. AOI 3, Portage Lakes, Christian non-member comes in, first kayak tournament, and shows us how to do it. Steve Baker fishing a lake that I had heard was not worth your time for the second year in a row that I know of. Drew, I saw where he was fishing. He was doing the same thing I was in a different area. Just worked out. K-Pow up there. Brock, I don't remember. And then there's Brett and Adam again.
That was a tough tournament.
Portage Lakes, yeah, it was, and I don't think I like this. That was June, right? June 22nd.
Yeah,
There's so many recreational guys out there, and just boats and people, and just so much stuff going on. Yeah, I don't think that's the right time, middle of summer, to hit Portage Lakes.
And that's always a little bit tougher time out on those. I mean, it can be really, really good, but it can be really, really bad at the same time. So it's that post-spawn funk gets real.
Then we hit the 4-lake pick'em. That was a couple lakes that people have been asking for, and a couple lakes that we had been going to. Tyler comes in at first. Then there's Jay and Adam again, and Brett. There's Drew, Ben, Josiah's here, coming out in 10. It was cool just at the meetup, and that we had Jeremy cooking hot dogs for us. It was a cool meetup just because it's like, what lake did you fish? What were you doing? And there was a common theme of what people were doing where. And again, like Ben posted this video, and like he went pedaling by me, and then I just saw him sitting in this one spot for like the entire day. And I was like, what's going on? And then to see his video afterwards, and the one big one that I think he took. Oh no, Jay had big bass. Jay was also fishing. Jay had one little spot where I was fishing, and he asked me to stay away, and I did. And then rounding it out, the first time we tried a river event as an AOI. I think it went really well. We're gonna try to do something again next year, but maybe try to narrow the scope a bit.
Yeah,
because we had a lot of water.
It's nice to do that one last too, because then you get like a month or so ahead of time. You can fish rivers a lot, so it's a nice change up. It's fun.
And all you can always find fish on a river. That's
yeah,
and get them to bite. I hate rivers, and I even enjoyed this one. So
yeah, it was fun to check out a bunch of different spots beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all that ends with our AOI here. A very close one again. Came up to the last event, which from a leadership standpoint, I both love and hate, because I'm sitting at Falls Outdoor doing math and trying to line things up. But I love it that it like the last event mattered.
Yeah, we won't bring up the fact that the guy that made the tournament, won into the year.
Now, to be fair, we were calling it Jay's. I was calling it Jay's River Roundup as a joke, just that I was the one that named it, and it wasn't him specifically that did it. He just agreed to make the map.
I'm just busting chops. He earned it. It
was kind of funny, because when I was going down to Raccoon Creek to grab the shoalie that they donated for it, I said, Jay, what color should I get? And he's like, that feels like bad karma. I don't think I want to answer that. But then he did.
And here he is with it.
Yep. Yeah. So after the AOIs, then we went to the Susky, the KA championship here. I got Jay and Adam again right up there. Ben again up there. The same names are out there, and I really enjoyed that trip. I mean, I know the flow was way down this year, which actually made it easier to fish all 4 days, and we had beautiful weather for 3 of them. I'm still getting water out of my car from that 4th day.
Yeah, that Sunday was brutal.
Yeah,
it's cold and wet, windy. And then driving home through that was not fun, but it's always a great time. That house is amazing. If anyone, we still got 0 people watching, but anyone watching later that was there helped outside of Brett, Adam, Andrew, helped clean up afterwards and check out. We got a positive review, and they said they would love to have us again. So That's awesome. 2 years we've been there, and 2 years we've had positive reviews, and they love us. We love them. Yeah. And then the team challenge. Not not what we were expecting. And even where I fished on the corporate team to create that extra spot on the NEO team, that didn't work out either. But still, great time, a lot of fun. And if we look at the individual standings, we got Brett and Josiah up there, 1 and 2. I think this is probably my highest finish for the year, number 11.
Yeah, you were too busy studying though. That'll pay
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I just submitted my application for grad school last week, so even more studying. This is gonna be fun. So we get back from the Susky and we jump right into the Oktoberfest. I think we got home Sunday and the captain's meeting was Monday. That was quite the rush, but we'll get to that. In the middle of our Oktoberfest, we had the Ohio Bass Nation Championship, the state championship on Hoover, down near Columbus. And this was really cool. This is the first year they've done it this way, where like all the Ohio clubs had their Ohio Bass Nation roster. We submit our top finishers based off of our roster. So we got to send 5, I believe it was. Yes,
Sounds right.
And then the top 8, based off of the entire roster, the top 8 of Ohio Bass Nation members get to qualify for the national championship, which is in March, the Bassmaster Kayak Series National Championship on Lake Fork in Texas, March. I don't know the day. I forget the day already, but sometime in March.
19th and 20th.
Is it 19th and 20th? Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top 10 at that get to walk across the classic stage, and that's really cool. And this guy right here, Adam, qualified for it. So you've fished Hoover before. You said you used to live down there?
Yeah, Hoover used to be, I'd probably go there twice a month, 2 or 3 times a month when I lived down there. I lived down there for about 2 years. So
have you ever seen the water that low? I was shocked when I pulled up. Like I could not believe how low that was.
Yeah, it was probably a few feet lower than I was even used to, but every year it gets drawn down like that because it happens right around the Ohio State Fair because they use it for water for the city, and the state fair is right down the road. So it ends up getting drawn down around that time frame, and then it just stays there until the spring, and then it actually goes a couple feet higher than the normal pool come spring, when everything melts and everything else, and then you're flipping bushes in mud water for the first couple of months of the year. So it's a crazy lake. There's no shortage of fish there. Sorry to rub it in, Drew, if you watch this later. There he is.
Speak of the devil. Good timing.
Right on time.
Sorry, Drew. I had to scroll down to see you. I don't think I've had this many people here before. I didn't realize that was a drawdown. I thought that was just the lack of rain.
No, yeah, it draws down every year, at least in my experience. So when I lived down there, that's how it worked. But yeah, it was a fun tournament. It stayed shallow. I tried to go deep. There's just so much bait and catfish in that lake. Yeah, I tried to do the live sonar stuff, and it was not worth it. I was catching crappie where I thought I'd catch bass, and then where I thought I might catch crappie, I'd catch catfish. So I just put the live sonar away and put a crankbait and basically a jig in my hand and went to work.
Awesome. Congratulations. Great work. We'll be cheering for you in March.
Looking forward to that. Full moon the week before that starts.
Oh.
Yeah. Water temperature will probably be right at that 60 mark, unless they get that hot early spring there. But it should be a shallow water beatdown. Hoping to look at 10 pounders on a bed. That would be pretty cool.
Awesome. That would be cool. 10 pounder. So then the week after that, then we had the Royal Showdown, which is Regional Ohio Yak Anglers League. It's all the clubs in Ohio get together and have a little fun team challenge, a little bit of money, but mostly bragging rights. And this is the first year that we were included And switch to the next tab here. We won. Brett is acting team lead since no one from leadership could go. Andrew, I think you did the heavy lifting for it. Had you guys fished Knox before this event?
A few times.
Yeah. So I had only fished it. I pre-fished it with Brett like 3 weeks before that, and that was the only time I went.
So you hadn't fished it before, like this year? Then I guess is how I should have asked it. Because we had the Mansfield mashup the year Adam won AOI, where we had Knox and Clear Fork, Pleasant Hill, and the lake that no one should ever fish ever. Jeremy, if you're watching,
Charlesville.
Yes. There, we finally have someone watching. Josiah, what's going on? Yeah, don't ever fish that one. So I fished Knox, and did I get second or third on that? I got third. It was behind Adam and then Steve, or Steve and Adam.
Yeah, I won that one.
Okay. You took first, but you two are fishing the same lake also. That's a cool lake. What'd you guys think of the stump field? Did you get scuppered at all? Almost flip?
I kept my my drive unlocked because I hit a few of them, so I kept unlocked. That it would give, if I hit them. But yeah, had to hit a few mines. It's like going.
It's scary in the morning when you're going out.
It was pretty murky up there, so it was different. It was pretty cool though. That's where I actually the north end where I caught all my fish. So
yeah, we fished our event was in August, so I didn't want to tell you guys like look at those. That's where they are, but because it's a different time of year, the water temps are different, everything. But I'm glad you found it. I didn't want to throw you off track. But I'm glad you guys found it. And
thankfully, me and Brett went and pre-fished that, and I found one thing that worked 3 weeks before, and thankfully it still works. So,
and cool. The power of a 12-incher. Look at that. Jeremy threw up the 12 before he had to rush home. His wife went into labor, and he had to rush, like get off the water and go join her. So, he at least caught the 12 before he got that message. And that crazy guy was going to hang around anyway, hit the meetup and then leave. And we're all like, no, dude, go.
We didn't even know if he was going to make it to the event.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I was talking to him like 3 days before, and he wasn't sure. They went to the hospital like the Friday before, and then nothing happens, and they sent them home, and then
dude's dedicated.
Well,
I'd be fishing.
He already has a kid, and she's not supposed to be due for she wasn't supposed to be due for like 2-3 weeks. And he hadn't got out much recently to fish other than that Rivers event, so she was all right with that, and that was about it, I think.
Well, if he's already got a kid, he should know that they don't follow plans.
How does that
get a lot of less time this year?
How does Knox set up? Does it have a lot of is there grass? Is it shallow? I've never really looked at it.
There's like no grass at all. The whole south end is just like bluff walls, super steep. You get like 5 feet of bank, and then it just drops down to like 12 feet.
Okay.
So what I was doing the whole time was looking for the spots that stuck out kind of like a point that were just like a little bit more, like 8 feet for like 15 feet off the bank. And I was just dragging a jig across that stuff. That was pretty much how I caught my fish. The north end's completely different though. It's just stumps and shallow.
It's like 3 to 6 feet in the stumps, and then there's like brush all around it. And I was finding all mine just slow rolling a spinnerbait through brush for like 4 or 5 feet.
That was it was 3 years ago, 2021. They drained it to repair the dam or that spillway, whatever, and that whole north end was completely dry. So all those bushes grew up, and then when
I went up there during all that just to like explore, and it was really cool. It was like 3 foot of water. The wood was sticking up like 3 to 4 feet up.
Oh, that's cool.
Some of them have like arrows in them and stuff. It's kind of cool.
That's a cool lake. I really liked it. I'm glad you guys spent some time on there and found some fish and took home the win. That was really cool.
That sounds like square bill and buzzbait heaven in the spring to me.
The north end, yeah.
Yep. That was actually where I was throwing the like big spinner baits, either like a big Colorado or the double turtleback from Venom, or I was throwing the chatterbait big blade a lot, and it was pretty much as soon as it got past the stump, it got hammered, no matter what. Just something big, flashy, noisy. That was yeah, August though. And then on to the main event here. We got the Oktoberfest, our season. And you know what? I didn't get the payouts up.
Shame on you, Bob.
There we go. So Oktoberfest, basically, I think I draw a really silly map here. Yeah, basically drawing a line straight up from Columbus and straight over. Everything's included. Everything in this area is included, which counts the east-west harbors over here, which people seem to like for some reason. And then Pymatuming up over here, all of Pymatuming that goes into PA. So you got rivers, lakes, farm ponds, anything public. I saw some city lakes pop up, some municipal little parks here and there, public waters. It was really cool to watch, see where people were and the creativity of some people of where they were going. And a couple of people reached out to me and asked, "Is this public? Is this not?" And I had to confer with Drew and Jay with their hunting maps, and Jay's love of reviewing the clerk of court's documents to see who owns what. It's a lot more fun to do it when someone was asking, like, "Hey, can I fish this?" instead of like afterward having to go back and say, "Yeah, there's no way you could have publicly launched there," and which I did at Raccoon Creek, and the guy that originally won did it. We both assumed the park extended to the lake, and when you look at the documents, it did not. So it was nice to do it preemptively and be able to say, yes, that's cool, or no, not. And Jay even called, I forget which, it doesn't matter which one it was, but Jay called someone and said, "Hey, is this public or private?" And they said, "Oh no, you can't fish this." So it's like, he actually picked up the phone and called someone. It was nice. I much prefer it that way to having to go back and figure it out and then DQ people. So thank you to people who asked. We had 18 anglers, 94 fish caught, and I think we had 8 limits. So we can go over the top 8 here. Chad Thomas, and actually, I think if you look at this one, you can see a judging error that I did. Nope, it's the next one. No, it was that first one. Sorry. Doesn't quite. I don't have the judging. Anyway, it doesn't quite touch the 13.5, but thankfully it didn't matter at all, or I would have gone back and fixed that. But Chad had 66.25 inches. He caught just the 5. And Tyler put some miles on where he's from and where he was fishing. One day I was like, "What the heck is he doing there?" He traveled all over that zone to catch those 5 fish, 70.25 inches. Stephen Garrett, he's one of the creative guys. He took some very creative routes to his public water to catch 10 fish, 84.75 inches, including this awesome 19.5 incher here, which actually was not one of the creative waters. That was one of the expected waters, but that was cool. And Jake was fishing with Steven for a bit, so he also did some of the creative stuff. Another 10 fish, 85.5 inches. And then Josiah, a quarter inch out of the money. There's Jake. What's up, Jake? We got 2 people now. Josiah, 1/4 inch out of the money. He caught his 5.86 inches, including this 2 19s, 19.75, I believe was the. Yeah, that's just a nice, healthy looking fish right there.
You should have seen the picture of it not on the board. That was a beautiful fish.
kind of gives away where he's at. Looking at a fish that healthy,
Mm.
or maybe it's because I know where he was, but no surprise where that one came from. And then Adam, I think, oh no, Roger caught the most fish. Adam, 5
Well,
plus 11, and
I mean,
he didn't submit.
I was
a
going to
number.
say there's a lot I didn't submit. So I missed a few.
Oh, look at this.
In our tournament, in our state championship, I had I think 2 17s I could have added to that. Obviously, wouldn't have helped me catch Roger, but it would have put me a little better off.
Josiah's here saying when he was fishing with you, he lost a 15, so he would have had it.
Yep. All part of the game. I lost a 23.5 that would have won me that first tournament I ever fished. So it happens.
So yeah, third place, 86 1/4 inches. You're 18 1/4. You got a little melanosis going on there.
That was at Hoover. I caught that one off of a dock that I could not get bid on during the tournament, and then I watched one of the guys that finished in third above me catch a 19-incher off that same dock off the same spot later in the day after I hit it. So I was a little disappointed in that.
He told me about that. Yeah, that yes. He just randomly started there.
There were docks with water on them.
Yep. Marina at Red Bank, where the meetup was. It's one dock, actually, not docks.
All the bobber guys were hanging out at that dock too.
Yeah, you had to hit it earlier in the morning before the shore gang got there.
There was a lot of bobber anglers and hangers on that lake.
A lot of guys fishing, not a lot of guys catching, from what I saw. I walked up and down that bank for a good hour and a half, waiting for the meetup to happen. On to second place, 98 inches. There's a name that we know quite well, Roger. All 19s and 20s. He, this one was quite nice. Very big. Like, it was early in the month. There's still nice, healthy lily pads there. Second 20. I think the water kind of gives away where he was on that one. And then first place, Brett again. 99 3/4 inches. Not quite the triple digits yet, but Brett also takes big bass with this beautiful 21 1/4 incher here.
I tried to break 100. I just couldn't get anything bigger than 19 inches again until today.
Of course, yeah. This one's tail looked gross. I'm surprised you're touching it.
I had to. Every 1/4 inch mattered. Trying to beat Roger.
That's right. You always got to expect Roger's going to pull out like a 22.
I mean, he's got it made right now, retired and fishing where he does. It's hard to beat him.
Yep. So with that, not that one, this screen. 18 anglers, 16 in big bass. No Bell Stores bonus bucks on this one, being just an online. Brett, you're taking 192.38 for first. Roger's getting 134.66 for second. Adam 57.71 for third. Brett's also taking 160 for big bass. And we are starting. We got $128 1/4 in the charity fund. We're starting saving for next year already. And to that topic, we've been leadership's been discussing if we want to do like save it up for the whole year and do one big check again, or if we want to do like individual. Each event benefits a different thing, or maybe do half the year for one and half the year for the other. So if you have any ideas or suggestions on charities to look at or ideas to have, please let us know. We're considering everything right now. We're just trying to keep things from getting stagnant. So do that. And on that topic, then I put together all of our donation numbers for the entire 6 years that we've been around. Kayak Anglers as a whole just finished their 11th year, and we've donated over $175,000. That includes the Southern Indiana chapter that's no longer around, the Central New York that's no longer around, us for 6 years, Western PA, Laurel Highlands, Central PA, Eastern PA. It's awesome. But for us, we've been steadily growing. If you take out the 2020 anomaly where we couldn't do any meetups, we couldn't do any physical meetups, we couldn't do our charity raffle, we couldn't do anything other than just entry fees. So we just shy of $2,000 from that, but still we had 109 people show up at Unity and we only raised $485. Like it that not having the physical meetup and the charity raffle, and which thank you to our sponsors. When we look at these numbers, we couldn't do this. We clearly see we couldn't do it without the sponsor gifts or donations that we then raffle off. But over our 6 years, we've raised a total of $36,250, over $6,000 a year that we've raised. So that's awesome. You can see this year we raised over $10,000. That's pretty wild, and kind of got to put an asterisk to this because we also had Keystone Kayak Series out of PA, and a lot of the Cincinnati guys, the Columbus guys. I don't know if we had anyone from Toledo or not, but like we had a lot of outside help with that one, that people joining in and wanting to help us. So that was really cool. It's still, I mean, it's awesome what we can do, all from fishing in little plastic boats. And thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our members, our non-members, everyone who participates. Thank you to the chapter leadership, the corporate board of directors, like everyone who spends their time putting this stuff together and making sure we can do all that we do. What do I have next? Thank you to you guys for joining in today or this evening. This is the end of our season, but we do have a fun little thing planned. The 2024 Holiday Hangout. Once again, we're heading up to Sauce Tap Room and Kitchen. Ken's laying out the red carpet for us, and he's going to shower us with food and drink and all that kind of fun stuff. No, food and drink you have to pay for yourself, but it's a great time. Awesome food. The cool thing is they just rolled out their brunch menu, which is from 11 to 3, and the meetup, our hangout starts at 2. So if you want to get in there and get some of these awesome brunch breakfast egg rolls with a side of beet drizzle sauce, like that sounds awesome. Corned beef hash. I'm excited to get breakfast empanada with beet drizzle and pico. Wakey wakey. This Nashville bowl sounds awesome too, minus the bell peppers. No one should ever eat bell peppers ever. They should not. They don't belong in kitchens. But that, and oh yeah, here's the corned beef hash.
Bob, I'm not a fan of this right now. That was my second glass of bourbon. Now I need a snack.
They also have pumpkin gnocchi bowls. Potato gnocchi, pumpkin cream, caramelized onions, candied bacon, queso fresco, sage, and garlic bread. Like that sounds awesome. Like definitely check out their page. Got the French toast sticks, or Cinna sticks. Sorry, Cinna sticks. That's the dessert. Steph had those last year. They were really good. And the brunch drink menu got a cold brew martini. Sounds pretty good. Mimosa flight. Get a little fancy. Drink with your pinky up. But yeah, that's let's see, Saturday, December 14th, I put 2 a.m. I just noticed that 2 p.m. And we are doing a white elephant gift exchange. Bring a fishing lure or lures, $10 or less. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Either something you like, some gimmicky lure that you want to see someone else open. We'll do draw numbers and then pick, like, go in order, pick a lure and then unwrap it, and then the next person can either steal it from the previous person or grab a new one, and then we We do a round of stealing at the end. It was pretty fun last year. The first year we tried it. I think there's a few kinks to work out that it'll run smoother this year. But we got 2 o'clock until whenever. Try to do it between the lunch and dinner rush, just so we're not clogging up their area, because it will get pretty busy Saturday evening. And then like friends and family are welcome, encouraged. Wives, girlfriends, best friends. You know, we're just coming to hang out, and anyone that brings a lure can join the white elephant. And then I will be. Ken did ask for a rough head count, so I will be putting something out to like, or RSVP on the event. That I actually made a Facebook event. Once I fix the time, it'll be correct. I got 6 people coming already. Mr. and Mrs. Nate Hall are coming. We'll have to throw some rice at them or something. But that's kind of all that I had right now. Oh, and yeah, check out their website. They have, as the video showed, there's 50 taps. You can get cans to go. There's the tap wall. Whole bunch of different beers, top shelf liquors, all that kind of fun stuff. Delicious food. It's all house made. I'm getting hungry here. The nugget flight was delicious. I had that the first year we were there. The Brussels Brights are really good. Pierogies, of course. Corned beef egg rolls. Pizza. House-made dough. Delicious salads, all like fresh ingredients. Of course, the empanadas. Oh, I had the Thanksgiving empanada last year. That was so good. Turkey and cranberry and all this like stuffing and everything in it. Wing sandwiches, bowls, fries. I mean, it's awesome. So thank you to Ken and Sauce for hosting us again this year. And hope to see you there. I'll stop sharing my screen there. Just thank you, sponsors, members, participants, leadership, everyone. Drew, you got anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I don't know. I missed the first couple minutes, so I don't know if you announced we're kind of starting to work on next year's schedule, so that should be coming out within the next.
That's right. We're gonna reveal the schedule at Sauced on December 14th. Big schedule reveal.
Same number of events as normal.
Right now, yes. I know something you talked about it at Hoover was maybe adding more and having more AOIs count towards, instead of 3 out of 5, maybe 4 out of 6, or we hadn't really discussed too much of that yet. We're a little tied up with working around Western PA, Laurel, Tackle. There aren't as many dates available as we would like, and so right now, probably not, but something that we still need to discuss.
No worries. You know, I'll always throw my suggestion / opinion on things out there. So if it works out, great. If it doesn't, no big deal.
Jake says the food looks so good. It is, Jake. Hope to see you there. It is so good. It's such a cool place too. I mean, it's really a nice little, not little either. It's just a really cool spot. I'm excited to go back. Brett, you got anything?
No, not really. It was a fun year, guys.
Adam, Andrew?
No, it's
scheduled party.
Scheduled party.
Yeah.
It's been a blast. This year was probably the most fun I've had fishing in a while. So it's definitely fun to see some new faces too. That's the other thing. We're starting to grow a little bit with some folks that are really into it, which is awesome. Josiah, appreciate his youthful enthusiasm. That's why I like to go out with him. I told him I said his excitement reminded me why I started doing this in the first place. So guys like that and others that are joining that, you know, may not have done it as long as some of us is why we do it. So it's been great.
I was with Josiah on the Susky on that first Thursday we got at. We launched together and went up, and it was maybe 6-8 minutes before I caught my first fish, and he's like going nuts as the thing's jumping out of the water, and my rod's doubled over and it's pulling me this way and that way in the water, and he's going nuts, and I finally net the thing, and my hands are shaking so much because of his excitement and my excitement, and ended up only being like a 15. It wasn't even that big, but it was just like my hands stop shaking when I catch a fish. I get excited. Like that's when I'm at to retire. But
Right.
his energy from 20-30 feet away is just that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, off of that, like I think usually sometime around mid-January is when membership opens up for 2025. So I mean, even if anybody, you know, watching this, or any of you guys have anybody that's interested in joining as a member and has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Even though it's the off season, we're, you know, all here to open and answer any questions that anybody has. If anybody's got, you know, any new sponsorship ideas, I know Eric's always, you know, going at that pretty hard this time of year for next year. So feel free to reach out to us with any questions, suggestions, you know, the chat, the Discord's, you know, always still pretty active even in the off season. So it'll be here before we know it. That's for sure.
Yeah, all you degenerates keep blowing up my phone on the betting stuff, on the gambling stuff. I'll keep betting on this. I'll keep betting on fishing.
Eric, you got anything you want to add before we sign off?
No, all good, guys. Great year.
I think we'll end on that. All good. Great year. Thanks, everyone. See you at Sauced in a little over a month.
Awesome, guys.
All right.
See ya.